One of my clients asked me the other day if it's possible to access her subconscious mind or higher self without having to do quantum hypnosis. I nearly jumped into my laptop with excitement. I love this question so much. It makes me so excited that someone is actually asking this. This is a question I wish everyone would ask because it's so empowering. What this question is really asking is, how can I find my own answers within? How can I be inspired every day, easily and effortlessly? How can I overcome fear? Or how can I release the feeling of loneliness? How can I be led on the right path in my life? Or how can I connect to my heart chakra, which goes down the lines of forgiving and letting go? The questions are actually endless. So that's why I get so excited when somebody asks me if it's possible to connect to their inner guidance without quantum hypnosis. And of course, I absolutely recommend quantum hypnosis as a modality to go really deep and access past lives and, help release trauma. But on a day-to-day basis, there is an option. So, what I do, because obviously I don't do quantum hypnosis on myself every single day, but I do want to access my inner wisdom, my subconscious mind, and my higher self. So, what I do every morning and night is an energy cleanse. I do it in the morning before I start work, and at night time before I fall asleep. This is kind of important because, as you can imagine, everything is energy, and we pick up energy throughout the day, even in our dreams, without even realizing. So when we clean out and activate our chakras, when we clean out those energy centers, it gives us an opening to receiving information, inspiration, and guidance. So if you can imagine that, if a window is so dirty and dusty, you can barely see outside. So we need to clean the window in order to see the sunshine. Or it's like a mirror. If there's a mirror that's really dirty, we can barely see ourselves. So it's the same. And we need to clean our energy centers in order to get that information from our subconscious mind, or higher self, or parallel self, or whoever you're interested in connecting to. I'll put an energy clearing meditation suggestion in the notes below, but you can choose whatever one you prefer on YouTube or Spotify or Insight Timer, which I absolutely love and I've been using a lot recently. And if you need any more suggestions, feel free to reach out. You can catch me on Instagram or on my website. I'd love to recommend more things if you need it. So, before you clear your energy, it's important to set an intention to clear it well, and for any unwanted energy to be recycled to beneficial energy and sent back to Earth. We avoid throwing rubbish on the street. Well, I hope everyone does. So let's not try to release any unwanted energy without intentionally converting it to beneficial energy, because we don't want anyone else to pick it up. Well, I hope we don't. After we clear our energy, we need to replace it with replenishing light and love from Source. Imagine a ball of brilliant healing light coming in from the top of your head. Feel it move down through your head, into your shoulders, down through your body, until your whole body is bathed in brilliant, bright, energizing light. Your energy should feel so lovely now. There's like a buzz to it. And imagine yourself just completely immersed in this beautiful, bright, healing light. So energizing and revitalizing. Now, the next step is to protect your cleansed and rejuvenated energy by imagining yourself in a protective bubble. This will make sure your cleansed energy is protected for the day and night ahead. I even recommend, I think I said this before in a previous podcast, I do recommend putting yourself into a protective bubble every single day, like in the morning before you leave your house and before you go to sleep, because we can get drained a lot by different things online, when we're online, or if we're stressed or there's a lot of anxiety. It's really draining. And when we protect ourselves with this bubble, it really, really helps. Try it out. So after we clear our energy, I recommend protecting it by imagining yourself in a protective bubble. So let's imagine ourselves in a protective bubble, and that will make sure that our energy, our cleansed energy, is protected for the day and the night. Then after that, set an intention to receive information from your subconscious mind, your higher self, or whoever we'd like to connect to, and then observe it come in. Sometimes we get information throughout the day through different means. It could be a suggestion of something from somebody, it could be a book, an article, could be through angel numbers. I get a lot of information through that. But you'll know them when you see them. Whatever your intention is to receive or inspiration, you'll see it. I get it through an inner knowing. Some people, one of my friends loves journaling her ideas and her inspiration. She's such a creative writer and it seems to just flow. It just depends. It really does depend on you. I usually get inner knowings and ideas in my mind, and then I send myself a voice message, like a message to myself through WhatsApp. I use WhatsApp to send messages to myself. So it's just the place that I look more at. If I send a message in my notes app on my phone, I generally probably don't look at it. So I just send myself messages on WhatsApp. That's the first thing, an energy clearing. It's setting an intention to clear your energy and then setting the intention to receive the messages you want to receive. Then my next suggestion is to walk in nature and to connect to nature in some way, if you can. I know it's really cold this time of the year. It's absolutely freezing in some places. But even going for a walk through the woods or in the trees is a really good way to connect and to mindfully connect. And while you're walking, you can do the energy clearing in your mind or listen to it while you're walking, and that will definitely help you to connect as well. Earthing. Yes, you heard it again, and I'll say it again and again. Get those wiggly toes out on the grass. Get them out on the beach or the sand or any natural area to absorb all the wonderful healing energy the earth has to offer. And also, it also helps release and let go of any unwanted energy into the earth. It facilitates it a lot more efficiently. So, yes, that's another amazing way to connect to our inner guidance. I was in the park yesterday, not yesterday, but the day before yesterday, and the weather wasn't the calmest. It was fairly blustery out there, and I was like, right, I'm getting my feet out. This is happening. You know, it wasn't too cold. I think the temperature is probably like 10 degrees. So I just kind of took off my shoes and stood in the damp grass. Didn't really mind it was damp. And I'm not gonna lie, I got a few questionable looks while I was just standing there, trying to be mindful, paying attention to my breath. But it felt invigorating. There's just something so freeing about being in nature when it's windy and you can hear the trees blowing, and it's a little bit drizzly, but you know, it's bearable because you're under a tree. So yeah, I love that wild feeling. I love the woody smell of the trees. And it actually brings me back to my childhood. That lovely oaky, woody smell, that damp, foresty smell brings me straight back to my childhood when I used to always play in the woods. As much as I could. I'd be there all day long if I could. I loved it so much. I climbed every single tree in my housing estate. I literally climbed the highest tree in the housing estate I used to live in. I was absolutely shitting bricks at the top, but I felt so connected to the earth. Like, I loved being in the trees. It's funny, I'm sure it's something that comes naturally with children, but it just is the best when you have that freedom. And I remember I made a little den called the Doodle Doo. And my sister knows exactly what I'm talking about, but she always knew to check there if I went missing. I was like, where's Sarah? Oh, she's probably in the Doodle Doo. Oh my goodness. There you go. There's some little childhood stories related to connecting to the earth. Are you a fan of being in nature, actually? Does nature call you at all? If you are a fan and all of this resonates, let me know. Another way of accessing our inner guidance is paying attention to our dreams. It's super useful to write them down or say them out in a voice clip or tell someone about the dream you had so that we can decipher the metaphor. Usually dreams come through in metaphors. And it's really hard to break down the metaphor to understand what the message is. Now, some dreams can be discarded because, maybe there aren't messages in some dreams. The dreams where, I don't even know how to explain it. You're just in a situation where it's not real and it's not a message. And this isn't something to pay attention to. And maybe you watched a movie, or maybe I remember sometimes I just had some dreams related to what happened that day, and it was just my brain processing it. But then there are other dreams where I'm getting a message and it's really clear, and I wake up the next day in the morning and it's clear in my mind. So that's when I kind of send myself a voice message again. And sometimes those important dreams hang around for a while. Like, I can still remember some really vivid dreams that I had that I was supposed to remember. It's hard to make sense of some of them, though. If you need any hand with this, please let me know. Do you pay attention to your dreams? Have you ever gotten any vivid or clear messages in them? Let me know. I'd love to hear about your dreams. I actually did a podcast about this before, and how we can understand ourselves through our dreams as well, which is quite useful if you want to listen to it. It's one of the episodes, I think. Let me see. It was episode 4, Exploring and Interpreting the Hidden Messages and Healing in Our Dreams. Really interesting, in my opinion. I hope you've enjoyed this episode today and you get benefit out of clearing your energy, replacing it with replenished energy, protecting your energy, and then accessing your higher self and your inner guidance. And maybe you can already access it without having to do all this, and that's absolutely amazing. There isn't really a rule. It's just that when I found that when I was on the beginning of this journey, that's the road I went down. But it's not a rule. Everybody has their own journey. Everybody connects differently. You could connect through singing. Actually, that reminds me that singing is an absolutely wonderful, fantastic, soul-touching, heart-bursting way of connecting to your inner guidance as well. But I'm not an expert in that at all. I'd love to start singing the house down. But I just have to wait till I move out of apartment block before I start that. And maybe train my voice as well before I do anything. But yes, singing is really powerful. We were just speaking about that today in the group, with my friends about singing and just the healing benefits, and there's so many wonderful singers out there that just touch your heart and just access that higher energy, that higher dimension of beautiful, just serenity, and it's unreal. So yeah, there's my rant about singing. I don't know where that's going, but yeah, I just love it. Maybe someday I'll be a singer. That will heal through my voice. What a wonderful gift. If any of you out there are listening and you have a wonderful singing voice, I would love to have you on the podcast. A few episodes ago, Lona Davis, which is one of my friends who I met through the quantum hypnosis course, she's a healing singer as well, and her singing therapy she uses in her sessions, and yes, absolutely fantastic. It really does shift things. I think that was episode 14. If you want to listen to that, it's absolutely phenomenal. It really is. It's a vibrational healing episode, which includes Lona's angelic voice and her dragon guides. There's a louder music version, and then there's a normal version without the loud music. So I recommend listening to that too. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Let me know how you get on. I'd love to hear all of your comments and stories. And I wish you a wonderful week, and see you next week. Take care.